Recently, after reflecting on what matters most at the end of my father's life, I've been thinking about a question that feels more important than ever. How do we build relationships that people want to keep for life? As parents, many of us focusing on helping our children succeed. We want them to be responsible, independent, confident, happy. But if you have ever had tensions with your child, whether they are a teenager or an adult child, you know that good intentions don't always create connection. That question led me back to something I learned years ago while working with leaders and teams. And surprisingly, it changed the way I think about parenting. Today, I want to share what leadership taught me about parenting and why I believe understanding matters more than control. For many years, I worked in the field of behavioral science and leadership development. Part of my work involved helping others understanding different behavioral styles and motivations. One thing became very clear. People are not motivated by the same things. Some people are driven by achievement. Others are driven by learnings. Others by the relationships, purpose, freedom, and independence. Great leaders understand this. They don't expect everyone to think like they do. They don't motivate everyone the same way. Instead, they take time to understand the person in front of them. At the time, I saw this as a leadership lesson. Now looking back, I now realize it was also a parenting lesson. As parents, we often say things like, "My child isn't motivated, they don't care. I don't understand why they won't listen." I used to think that too, but over time, I realized something. Most children are motivated. They are just not always motivated by the same things that parents value. For example, a parent may value achievement. The child may value creativity. A parent may value stability. The child may value exploration. A parent may value structure. The child may value freedom. When that happens, it can feel like we are speaking different languages. The problem isn't necessary motivation. The problem may be understanding. One of the most powerful shifts we can make as parents is moving from judgment to curiosity. Instead of asking, "Why won't my child do what I want?" we can ask, "What matters most to them? What are they trying to achieve? What drives them? What are they afraid of? What are they hoping for?" Those questions create understanding, and understanding creates connection. When people feel understood, they become more open, more willing to talk, more willing to listen, more willing to trust. This is true in leadership, and it is true in families. Many parents want influence, but often we accidentally use control. The challenge is that control may create compliance for a while, but it rarely creates connection. Influence is different. Influence grows from trust. Trust grows from understanding, and understanding begins with curiosity. The more understood people feel, the more open they become to our guidance. That doesn't mean we agree with every choice. It doesn't mean we lower standards. It simply means we begin by understanding before trying to change. As I have reflected on my relationship with my own son, I have come to realize that some of the most important breakthroughs didn't happen when I had the right advice. They happened when I became more willing to understand his experience, not through my eyes, through his. That doesn't mean we always agreed, but understanding created space for connection, and connection created space for growth. I believe this lesson goes beyond parenting. It applies to leadership, friendships, marriage, families, human relationships in general. In a world that feels increasingly divided and increasingly influenced by technology, understanding may be one of the most important human skills we have. People want to be seen, heard, understood. Children are no different. I have come to believe that one of the greatest gifts we can give our children is the experience of feeling understood for who they are, not just who we hope they become. Because the goal of parenting isn't to create children exactly like us. It is to help them become the best version of themselves. And perhaps that is where human connection begins. Not with agreement, not with control, but with understanding. If this message resonated with you, I would love to hear your thoughts. What is something you have discovered about your child that is very different from you? Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.